Hello, everyone, and welcome to Geek and a Nerd, where you get to figure out and decide for yourselves as a viewing audience who is the geek and who is the nerd. So I am D.
I am Chuck. I want to give a quick shout out to Danny going viral with his own fucking ending scene from the movie Seven with what's in the box. Apparently, people ate that shit up.
All right, we'll be doing a lot more of those. We're gonna try to get at least one done a month going forward.
Hey, man, we got a lot of news to go over, man. It's been a fun couple days talking about this shit, huh?
Oh yeah,
I mean, I'll let you, decide where we go. But do we start with the announcement of my new favorite movie of all time?
yeah. I think we should start there. Let's just begin with the travesty.
I mean, all right. So, guys, Star Wars has gotten really creative. I mean, if the one thing that we knocked them for was the lack of creativity in the sequel trilogy, they're really, bumping it up. So we got word that the new Rey Star Wars movie about her starting the new Jedi Order has got a release date, a plot, and a title. And dude, am I wrong? Threw me for a loop. When the title came out, I'm like, wow, that's just so killer. The movie is going to be called Star Wars New Jedi Order.
Yeah, didn't see that
I was
coming.
trying to I was trying to think of something clever off the top of my head to just spit out instead of like, no, it's called Star Wars New Jedi Order. I mean, way out of left field with that one, right?
Uh, Man,
You
yeah.
know,
Apparently they took a lot of sit down discussion to really come up with that nugget.
and the other thing is, we got a quick plot synopsis, which I was very excited about. And Rey will be training a new boy and a new girl, and it will become immediately apparent that the girl has extraordinary powers and will be the next future leader of the Empire because she's under the tutelage of Ray Palpatine. I mean Skywalker. I mean not my Ray. I mean hashtag redo the trilogy. Yeah, Danny, what are you? When you heard that plot synopsis being read yesterday, did you like verbally cringe like I just did?
No, I laughed because I, unlike the rest of you people, has always known that Star Wars is not that good. Y'all overrate it just because I don't know, because you people just aren't good. Just don't realize stuff. I mean, the storyline has always been weak, and this proves the storyline's weak because all they heard in the original trilogy is how Anakin was supposed to balance the Force, and then Luke is going to balance the Force. And what happened? Neither one of them did a thing. So there, all y'all with your original trilogy full of plot holes and spelling errors, please justify this because this just proves my point. None of that mattered. None of it made any sense. It was all a waste of time, and y'all fell for it. You guys are wonderful.
This movie has become my treehouse joke. It's an old joke that Dimitri Martin told in the 90s. He's like, a treehouse is like one of the most fucked up things you can do because when you think about it, you're killing a tree and making his friend hold the body.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Star Wars is to me now. At the end of Rise of Skywalker, Rey just gutted me open like a tauntaun, and now she's making you hold my dead body up. New Jedi Order.
Yeah, this will be good. And of course, they decided, hey, remember all the stuff about Ray you didn't like? Well, we're gonna lean hard into that and make another character even more of a Mary Sue than Ray was. And she was the ultimate. Could fly the Falcon, could use force, could revive people and wield a lightsaber. And Luke didn't even train her, but she could do all this amazing stuff because look at him, he's just sipping on green milk because he's a bum. She knew he was a bum. You're like, you idiot, I got this. I don't need your help. I'm just here just because I need your name. That's the only reason there, buddy. Just your name. You take your green milk and you just sit out and watch me.
To the viewers that were watching me just stare off into the middle distance like a serial killer, it was Danny making me flash relive every shitty Ray moment through the sequel trilogy. And I was just like, they could have literally taken any other character's arc and I'd be more excited to
And the
see
one
them back.
and the one thing that she did do, which is phenomenal. This is what I don't get. So out of all the let's be progressive with the strong female character, which there already was many of them. they just decided to just whoop it. She decides to suck face, not with the dude that like saved her life and made all these travels with her. Not Finn. Nah, forget that. We can't do that. I'm gonna go suck face with the guy who tried to kill me. Because if there's nothing that says strong woman, then I'm gonna fall for toxic dickhead. And that's it. Oh yeah. Oh, this is fantastic. I love it.
They might as well have called it Star Wars: Strong Female Character. I just
With just she's just so her she can be as strong as she wants, but like her personality is very weak. Just very weak, tired, lame.
who are they making this movie for? And we called it. They're going to end up throwing Grogu in there.
Yeah, and they're gonna ruin him because they're gonna do stuff that makes no sense. They're going to make Grogu bastardize the legacy of Yoda. Because he's gonna do things that Yoda couldn't do at Yoda's age, that Grogu's not even nearly that old yet. Yoda was the ultimate avatar of the light. Grogu's gonna outdo him in every single way. Only because he had the tutelage of Rey Skywalker.
Oh my God.
Yes, that's
Luke fucking Skywalker, who had the tutelage of Yoda. Therefore, ipso facto, Bob's your uncle. Yoda taught Grogu. There you go. That's how.
Luke didn't teach her anything. What did Luke teach her? Nothing.
No, Luke taught Grogu in the Book of Boba Fett.
They just wrote that in out back. He began the training. He didn't do nothing. He just said, "Hey, this is Force." Rey is going to show him.
2 years, man. They trained together for 2 years, man.
And all she needs is 5 minutes, and she's going to expand his knowledge 100-fold. She has all these new Force powers, and then the new girl has other new Force powers, and they're going to get together and they're going to just do all kind of awesomeness that Luke couldn't do, and Vader didn't do, and Anakin was too much of a wine bag to do.
You're hearing it here, folks. Danny is a Palpatine simp. He is a Rey Palpatine simp.
Y'all are just mad because she's awesome, and you guys have nothing.
Force healing, huh? Got nothing?
Yep.
Got nothing.
Yep. She can force heal. She can force revive. She can do it. She can do all that stuff. What you got? She can do that too. You got nothing.
Stolen lightsaber, stolen last name, identity theft is a crime.
Not in that universe.
Blame a black person. Did you see where they went? Who? The black guys that did this.
That's right. That's in every universe, especially Star Wars. They lean hard into that one. He's a black dude. Okay, well, you can either be a coward or, you know what? How about you just gonna be both? You can be a coward, or we're going to have you betray your best friends, or we'll have you do both. And they're all related because there's only one family.
All right. I mean, we'll obviously be making fun of Star Wars for the next 2 years till this movie comes out.
I've been making Star Wars. I've been making fun of Star Wars my whole life. This is my Tuesday. I don't know what y'all are talking about.
This is my Tuesday. In other movie news, Across the Spider-Verse has opened, and The Flash has opened, and The Flash has tanked terribly to
no, that's not possible. I heard The Flash was the best movie of all time, greater than Titanic. The best superhero movie was going to kill Spider-Verse. Marvel is so bad because it couldn't compare to Flash.
First of all, can we just call it now that we sit here on Friday, June 23rd, that soon we will be getting that long rumored Titanic sequel, Titanic 2, Submarine Boogaloo?
Yeah, it's gonna be great. You'll see see rich people go down and not come back up, kind of just like Titanic.
That's what I feel like they need to do with the writers of Star Wars: New Jedi Order. Send them down on a one-way trip to an icy, shallow grave. Not even a shallow grave. You're 2.5 feet down. They'll never find you.
It's too late. I already bought edible arrangements for all of them. They should be delivered next week.
They are the edible arrangements right now.
Yeah, they're just from Danny with love. Thank you, guys.
So here's one that'll really wrap your mind. This is the first time I've ever seen this done with any movie ever. And Danny, you can Google this as I'm talking. Just before we went live on air, Fandango put up a post for the next week. If you use the code The Flash at checkout, Flash movie tickets are buy one get one free.
Do you have a friend you don't like? Someone that you just want to disappoint? We're gonna see Flash. Do you have a kid who's acting up and you want to give him a life lesson? Take him to see
Are
Flash.
you on those court mandated unsupervised visits that you wish would just be over? Take him to 2 hours and 32 minutes of nonsense with the Flash movie.
Do you have kids? Yeah. Do you have children that you have to spend time with but don't wanna? Take them to Flash. They'll never want to spend another minute with you again. Problem solved.
Popularity can be a bitch, and we at Fandango are here to help.
Are you a deadbeat dad who just has to spend that time with their children? Take them to see Flash. That'll show them.
Do you think taking your son to a movie will explain why you walked out 12 years ago and just walked back now? All that father-son bonding can be turned for the slow price of one of those tickets to the play. Like, have you ever seen a movie doing buy one, get one ticket?
This thing is going to be up on HBO Max so fast.
Like, it'll be as we're speaking now. Like, it's premiering on HBO as we speak.
This is the movie version of what's his name, Bush, who said please clap. This is the movie version of that.
Oh God.
This is fantastic. All I heard is how Flash was going to revolutionize and so great and super duper awesome. And this is it, people.
I have to defend a little bit. When I went to my initial screening, I came out and I told you, I was like, this is not the greatest superhero movie of all time. It's not even close. But it's a great superhero movie. It's a fun fucking ride. And for someone that I wasn't against Ezra Miller for the reasons everybody else was. I was against Ezra Miller because he's hashtag not my Barry.
No, I was against him because he should have never been Flash in the beginning. I never liked that idea. It made no sense. The age didn't match. He wasn't Barry Allen, and DC never cast for the characters they are. They cast for the hero. They cast for Batman. As soon as we saw Affleck in the suit, we knew. They cast for Flash. Oh, we got him in the suit. No, you cast for Bruce Wayne and Barry Allen. That's why Clark Kent works, because he is Clark Kent. You just see it like he just Cavill fits the Clark Kent. That's why it works. They do it in reverse.
And I don't want to hear anybody cut in like, oh, you guys just want the characters to look like the comics. There was outrage when Grant Gustin first got cast. He had brown hair and brown eyes, and Barry Allen is blonde and white in the comics. Guess what? I look at Grant Gustin as that's my Barry Allen. That'll probably be my Barry Allen for the rest of my life.
Yeah, he filled it. He did the role.
Like he was Barry Allen and he was the Flash. But first he was Barry Allen. Like they cast Grant Gustin because of how he played Barry Allen. They can throw anybody in the fucking Flash suit and CGI some lightning behind them. You had to bring something to the character. And I feel like that didn't happen in the Flash movie. The other thing about this movie is they lean too hard into what I'll call in the know jokes. For example, we know the cameo with Nick Cage as Superman, right? You know how many people I've had to explain that to? There is an entire running thread in this movie, including tattoos and everything, about in this version of The Flash, Eric Stoltz was Marty McFly, the dude that was originally supposed to play him. And then Michael J. Fox did Footloose and Kevin Bacon did Terminator. Like that's what happened. But like the whole Eric Stoltz thing is this like joke that they just keep hitting the button on multiple times in the movie. And I'm like, do you know how small of your audience that's here for a superhero movie is even going to know why Nick Cage is in the movie? Do you really think anybody that's not like a movie nerd like us knows anything about Eric Stoltz and Back to the Future?
It's also not funny.
It's not funny. And Eric Stoltz, for those of you who don't know, he's in a famous movie called Mask with Rocky Dennis that you see parodied in a lot of things. So he was the original Marty McFly, but he was fucking awful. And they were like, dude, we wanted Michael J. Fox in the beginning, but he was on a TV show, so they just delayed the movie until they could get Michael J. Fox. But it's a long bit in the movie about Eric Stoltz being in Back to the Future. And I'm like, that's the type of shit stop hitting on. And then you use this bullshit Teddy Sears CGI knockoff for a Jay Garrick cameo when you don't use the one that you shot with Grant. Then you bring Nicolas Cage in person. You put him in the suit. You put him in the wig. And you use a CGI fucking stand-in for the kid. What? Like, I love this movie. There's great aspects to it. It's not a great film. And then the whole thing they do at the end with bringing George Clooney in for no reason. it's just like what.
It's just She-Hulk. Everything you don't like about She-Hulk, you shouldn't like about this because they do the same thing. Bad CGI, bad plot line, and then at the very end, everything unravels because they kind of wrote themselves into a corner and had no clue how to get out of it. So they just throw everything in there.
I didn't take She-Hulk for anything more than it was, and I was satisfied with
Well,
She-Hulk.
I'm a '90s She-Hulk comic reader, so I used to the campy, goofy She-Hulk, and I wanted more of that. They wanted it to be more like Ally McBeal, which was a horrible show, and no comic fans wants to see Ally McBeal.
The only thing I know from Alan McBeal is we had that fucking stupid CGI baby, the ooga chaka, ooh, I can't stop this. Dude,
Yeah.
that fucking baby every night on the internet.
No, thank you. Nothing good about that. Bad lawyer show. Bad show.
So the Flash is tanking. As we sit here, it's at 136 million worldwide in his first 10 days. They were hoping it was going to open to that domestic alone. It opened to 55.1 million.
Yeah, and they had something about, there's going to be a Flash sequel, which I would have been interested to see how they would have warped that into the new one because you're rewriting everybody. But they're high hopes.
Here's the big plot thing. So that the director came out and he said the whole point of the sequel was going to be Reverse Flash. And cool, I get that, because here's my big problem with the fucking Flash movie. He doesn't try to stop his mom being killed.
That's the whole point of Flashpoint.
He doesn't even go in and try to see who the fuck is killing his mom.
That's the whole point of Flashpoint. So what's the so this is Infinity Gauntlet without Thanos looking for the Infinity Stones and not having a glove.
Yeah, and so here's the thing. So the whole premise of it is his mom forgets a can of tomatoes, making sauce, and she's like, "Oh shit, I need more tomatoes. I forgot to get them at the store. Dad, will you go get tomatoes?" He's like, "Sure, I'll go get tomatoes." He goes to get tomatoes. She gets stabbed. He comes back right afterward. Then he goes to jail for the murder because the footage they have of him buying the tomatoes, he never looks up at the camera, so you never sees his face. I'm like, you didn't have cameras at the checkout? You didn't have cameras at the door? You didn't have a cop that was like, that's the outfit he's wearing in the footage, that's the outfit he's got here. So his dad's in jail for all this. So even at the end of the movie, spoiler, when he goes back and sets it right, he just puts the tomatoes up on the higher shelf now, so his dad has to look up. So even though his mom is still dead and he undid the universe, he got his dad out of prison, which that's apparently how Michael Keaton gets turned into George Clooney. But the whole Flashpoint thing isn't him going back to save his mom. He goes back to the grocery store and puts the tomatoes in her cart.
Okay.
That's the big heroic act.
Wow. Hey, this is your DC, buddy. Have fun. I mean, the MCU is doing horrible with Phase 4 and 5, but I got up to Endgame. I mean, you have what? You got one movie. One.
What do you want to fucking say? Say the fact that Chuck, your two most beloved DC characters, are now the two most hated DC movies of all time with Green Lantern and the Flash. Just fucking say it, Danny. I know you want to say it. Say it.
I mean, Green Lantern I'm cool with. The Flash is just overpowered and boring and stupid. A guy who runs on a treadmill is just he runs on a treadmill. That's just dumb. And he can break through, he can go forward and backwards in time, then what's the point? Why does anyone else exist in DC? I don't get it. You have Superman, you have Flash. Why is anyone else there? What are you doing? Go home.
To the casual listener, you have to understand my enthusiasm here, because Danny's saying the Flash is overpowered, but Green Lantern's cool. A guy that can literally create anything he can think of.
Yeah, that's all right.
Willpower is his only limit, and you're like, I totally buy that.
Yeah, I can buy that. I can't buy a guy running on a treadmill, and it's actually a treadmill. Why don't
bitch ass speedsters like Jay Garrick and Wally West even need the treadmill? Real OGs just fucking run. All right.
Nah, I think you should get tired if you run eventually. That's the whole point.
They do get tired. Even in this movie, they set up this cool thing where he's got this calorie watch, right? It tells him when he's running out of speed, and the hungrier he gets, the slower he gets. And then it's never used again in the entire film.
Yeah, because it's not a thing.
Ezra Miller microwaves a baby in that movie. It is to save the baby, but he does microwave a baby.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Did he punch a girl in the face?
A pregnant girl.
Now we're talking. Okay, I'm all in. You know what? I changed my mind. This movie's awesome. Go see The Flash, everyone. and bring a friend.
Why they didn't want to go see it. If they were like, oh, I don't want to go see this movie because I got a problem with Ezra Miller. We're gonna have an even bigger problem because there's two of them for 85% of this movie.
Yeah, both
and
bad
somehow
hair.
one is worse than the other.
I still don't get how Batman, Superman, Flash, Green Lantern, they're all the same age in the comics, but now one's old, one's a teenager, and they're trying to copy everything the MCU does so bad that they just stop. Just do your
It's
thing.
not even just that. I heard a great someone in Nerdrotic's comments was like, my bigger issue is who the fuck is Barry's mom so important that stopping her death undoes Superman ever arriving to Earth, undoes Wonder Woman ever existing, Arthur Curry ever being born over some fucking white bitch? Because that's the thing. When he saves his mom, it's literally it's Man of Steel Day all over again. And in their version of it, Kal-El came as a baby, Supergirl as an adult to protect him. Supergirl got caught and locked up by the Soviets, and Zod found Superman's pod as it was entering Earth and killed him because he didn't have the codex because they put it in Supergirl in this movie. So then Zod proceeds to just kill her 30 different ways while the two Barrys keep trying to save Batman and Supergirl. And every time they go back, older Barry realizes, oh, this is a fixed point. We can't change it. And that turns younger Barry into the Dark Flash.
Mm-hmm. Now that is
it's 5 different scripts that were Frankenstein together.
So they do this a lot with the shows lately. I've noticed is that they will take 5 different versions, like just multiple versions of a movie, and rather than picking one, they pick all of them, and they just say, let's just throw it together, and done. So it's kind of like, you know what? DC is Steven Seagal. Marvel is Jean-Claude Van Damme.
No, I will not allow that blasphemy.
Yeah,
you fucking shut your whore mouth.
Yeah, whatever. Prove
You
me wrong, people. Prove me wrong.
No.
Let's watch all Steven Seagal movies, and then let's line it up with a DC movie, and we'll see the similarities. Oh, will you be surprised?
You made me Steven Seagal's Man of Steel. I'll wait.
Yeah, that's the exception that proves the rule.
Fuck you and your logic and facts.
Yeah, you got nothing. Every other movie, there is a Steven Seagal movie that just. How many times have you said the words "it was done" and then never mentioned again? That's like automatic Steven Seagal. How many times do you think a writer entered a scene and closed his eyes and didn't look? That's how Steven Seagal shoots guns.
So, in his newest movie, he doesn't get up from his chair the whole movie. Every time he fights someone, he's fighting them in a chair.
He fights sitting down. He slap fights people sitting down. It's awesome. That's incredible.
That's the first thing you understand. I'm actually a grandmaster in Aikido, okay? It's the martial art of Fugazi.
And his stunt double is like 50 pounds lighter. And that's when you see him stand up and walk, is when you see the stunt double. It's incredible. Steve Seagal, you are a rare genius. And you are decent.
Oh my God. What else is going on in the movie world, man? Blue Beetle's gonna fucking flop because of this Flash shit. If Flash couldn't make money, Blue Beetle is not gonna make any money.
Yeah, Blue Beetle's a character that nobody knows, that James Gunn gets to do whatever he wants with. He's good at that.
He's really good at that. If you try to tell me, and Danny, you're the exception to this rule that proves it true. If you try to tell me there was a Guardians of the Galaxy fan, like diehard out there before his movie, you're a liar.
Well, I don't like the version. I don't like the Guardians that he picked.
You like a different Guardians, yeah.
I like the Guardians that looked for Captain America's shield, that had the guy Vanguard, the astronaut from Earth, and actually, you know what? They like this whole transgender thing. There's an actual character in Guardians of the Galaxy that is a man and a woman, husband and wife, and they occupy the same space and time. So their bodies switch according to who's using the powers at a given. It's really cool the way they write it out. But they're like they could have used this incredible team, and instead they use the boring one with Star-Lord. That's not even the cool version of the team. The other version of Guardians of the Galaxy is amazing. I hope they do that version of them. And now that Captain America's dead, you could have a future team look for his shield and still warp it in with the MCU now that they're going more cosmic. It would be amazing.
Another thing Marvel's doing now, whereas DC has the Black Label print for like their adult versions of shit, Marvel is starting an adult graphic novel line using the What If banner, and the first 2 books have been announced. Book 1 of this new adult themed graphic novel series will be What If Loki Was Worthy, and then the second one will be What If Venom Found Moon Knight instead of Eddie Brock.
Oh, Moon Knight, that's the one.
That to me sounds like a really interesting tale. Now, I want to, because you're the Thor guy, what is your take on the if Loki was worthy and the potential for that?
There is no potential. He can't be. He's the god of mischief. He cannot be worthy of the hammer. That is the whole point.
Oh man, you got to get in the comment section on that and let these people know what's really going on.
Well, that's the reason why I don't like the whole the Loki show that much, because it's like a redemption arc. Now he's not an anti-hero. I keep going back to the story of Balder the Brave. Loki killed Balder the Brave, and Balder could have came back to life because his mother had a quest. If you make everyone, so you went to Hela, hey, can I have my son back? Yes, if you make everyone and everything shed a tear for your son, I'll release him. So she did. She went to the animals, the plants, to everything, until she came across an old woman, and that old woman refused to shed a tear. And the prevailing theory is that old woman was Loki in disguise. So Loki kills Balder, then prevents him from coming back. That is Loki.
That is a big move.
That's why I don't want to hear nothing about no redemption arc. And now he's good. He saw the error of it. No, there was no error of his ways. That is his ways. Leave him alone.
So now the Moon Knight being possessed by Venom, that one catches your fancy though?
Oh yeah, because what if Batman had mental problems? Is Moon Knight? What if you give him like powers?
Those mental problems, symbiote suit.
Yeah, give those mental problems a symbiote suit that can do like pretty much crazy stuff. So he'll expand what Venom can do, because Brock was limited a great deal just by his own imagination. It was mainly the symbiote that expanded his powers as they went. That's why Agent Venom was different than just the Venom symbiote. But Moon Knight, with the powers that he has, and just the way his mind is already fractured, so you have each personality having their own take on it. So you can pretty much see Venom as Moon Knight change his appearance according to which personality is in control. So you'll be able to know which one's which.
I like that a lot. That's definitely a storyline I'm going to follow. Speaking of comics, Danny, you reading anything hot off the presses this week?
See, I have my pull list, and I'm kind of waiting for it to load up a bit before I go through them. I'm interested in the Ultimate Universe. I want to see what Hickman does. I like Hickman's writing, though I am not a fan of his talent evaluation. Hickman is the Bill Belichick of comic writers. Excellent coach. Cannot deny it.
You need to be reading the new Green Lantern, folks. It's selling out on shelves. Issue 2 just hit this past Wednesday. The writing on this is amazing. It's basically how, as a one-man show on Earth, Earth has been banned by the new fucking people that have taken over the Green Lantern Corps. They've reassigned all the other Earth Lanterns, and it's got a hilarious scene that I was talking to Danny about as I was reading it, where they try to like strip him of his ring in the Green Lantern Corps, and they can't take it because it's his ring that he's forced out of his own willpower. And it's just a hilarious movie. He's like, yeah, I don't think that's going to work out so well for you.
Yeah, it's like, this is actually, no, this isn't just my ring. This is me. My ring is me. It's part of me. It's not going anywhere.
And they're like, but it is our will. And he goes, nobody's got more willpower than me. All right? Like, literally brought myself back from death with pure forged will. Like, that's what this ring is. It is my forged will incarnate.
Yeah, his ring has now become Mjolnir for Thor and Silver Surfer Surfboard. It's just part of who he is as a being.
And that used to be a big thing. Like, oh, Green Lantern dies, their ring goes find somewhere else. No, Hal's ring will never seek out anybody else. As a matter of fact, I don't know that Hal can actually die anymore because of the fact that his body did die. And then he was like that spirit ghost, and he was like, nope, and then forged his own ring and gave himself corporeal form again. I don't think he can die.
Oh, he's been that. He's been the Sentry. So
The
yeah,
Spectre.
Spectre. Like, so he's kind of on a rarefied level unto himself right now.
He really is. He's been every color Lantern. He was Spectre. He was Parallax. Like he really is in this weird position where it's like, I don't think this, because even if he did die, Spectre would come for judgment, and Spectre would let him go back to the mortal world because of their relationship. Because he saved Spectre when Spectre needed a host. So it's like, even if you could find a way to kill him, Spectre would just be like, no, it's not final. No double tap. Like,
yeah,
he didn't double tap.
Yeah, they take the they have a different take on it. Like Marvel has, it's more of an entity, benevolent being that has no sense of self like that, where DC takes it as to make it more of a, he's more of a personality, more of a person where you can have that relationship with him. So yeah, he kind of changed it. So Hal's on a different level.
That's just something that's cool to see in the comics, where he's like, dude, I don't need the Green Lantern Corps, all right? I don't even need the other Earth Lanterns. I'll run this shit by myself. Oh, hell, don't you need to charge your ring? Oh, that's the other thing. He doesn't charge his ring anymore. He hasn't. He made that ring back in Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps. He's never had to charge it once.
He is greatest lantern. Well, greatest Green Lantern.
That's what Ion was. Ion was Kyle Rayner with a piece of the battery in his chest, so he didn't need a ring and never needed to recharge. That's basically what Hal is. But yeah, we got that going on. We got Star Wars news. All the Marvel movies have been delayed, yet Deadpool 3 moved up 6 months to come out next May. So we're excited for that one. Although I did see someone put in the comments say that the last time Wolverine and Deadpool met in a movie, it was written during a writer's strike, and it didn't work out too well. So
yeah, well, that wasn't Deadpool. That was some youth with swords that came out of his forearms. I'm not too sure what that was all about.
Nope. He was Weapon 11, Danny. He was all the previous mutants on Wolverine's strike team, their powers put into Wade Wilson's superior body.
Yeah, okay. They really need to do an Alpha Flight movie, and then they can get into the Weapon X lore.
Okay, first of all, Weapon X was technically 3 people. It was Sabretooth, Lady Deathstrike, and Wolverine.
Now, there was more than that. You had Deadpool in there. There was the first Weapon X. Like there was like there's a bunch of them they haven't even got through. He also had guys like Maverick and Sabretooth that fought with Wolverine in his initial strike team. Then you got the first Alpha Flight. You have Guardian. Then his wife Heather took over when Guardian died. I want to see this. I want to see the scene when Sasquatch gets his heart ripped out by his girlfriend Snowbird. She turns into a Sasquatch because they end up finding Sasquatch is really a how do they position him? He is one of like an elder deity. So by becoming Sasquatch, being a native to Canada, that allowed Snowbird to duplicate his form, became a white Sasquatch, and ripped his heart out. It's like I'm sorry, my love, but I can't let you live because the being took over Sasquatch's body. She just came in, boom, grabbed it, and just ripped it. Oh, it was amazing. Then they had to go find him. But wow, man, Alpha Flight was good. Oh, the 90s were awesome.
That just sounds like an awesome storyline. You know, the moment you said Sasquatch, I was in. It didn't matter what we were doing.
Oh, man, the first Alpha Flight team was so much fun.
So she could duplicate anything that was native to Canada.
Yeah, so she would be like a bird, a polar bear. She was a snow owl. She was a polar bear, all that different stuff. But once they realized, like she never was Sasquatch before, but once they realized what Sasquatch was and where his origin was, she could then take on his form. She's like, oh, you're from here. Oh, I got a plan. Just turned into him, and they just went at it, and that's how they ended the comic. Was the death of one of their members.
That is
Puck.
awesome.
Oh man, Puck, who was short because he had a little demon stuffed inside him. And then later, years later, the demon got released, so Puck was in a normal form. And oh man, yeah, the Dream Queen and Puck went to another dimension to trap her in it to save everybody. Oh, Box was a guy with no legs. He would just jump into a robot, and that's how he would fight with him. And man, so much fun. Just make Outflight already. Let's go.
As soon as you said Canada, I started thinking of the South Park episode with the Native Canadians. Like, you goddamn snow goops and ice beaners. No, Scott, you were a giant dick, and then you got hit by radiation and became a giant dick. No, I wasn't a dick. You guys made me a dick. Then I got hit by radiation and became a radioactive giant dick. C5 from ice snow trapped in it. Fucking bowl of crap dinner. And in pants, she is queefing into the prince's face, as is tradition.
Oh yeah,
Fucking love it.
there'll be some. Well, Marvel has Sins of Sinister going on. That's good. Clobbering Time is fun. Moon Knight so far is like the best ongoing run that Marvel has so far in the comic books.
Alrighty, Danny. Any other topics you want to hit before we hit our 45-minute timer here?
No, that's about it for this one. You know, we're gonna have some more shows coming out.
We have a
We're
reality video coming out. We're doing the Tropic Thunder documentary. I'm forcing Danny into it. We're going to do our first episode of B-Sides, and then we'll be back with new chapters in the What If storyline. And then I want to do a storyline called is it D or is it Chat GPT? IMC or Chat GPT?
And come on, I think starting next month, I'm going to start releasing images and little story leaks for Force Alpha, the graphic novel, starting to put the last pieces together. And Gygo, we're gonna see like the best way to publish it and get it out there. So yeah, maybe check out a Discord server and all that good stuff as well.
Yeah, and thank you to our Australian fans, apparently, in their Discord server, which we just recently learned about. And once I figure out what Discord is, I'll figure out how to get on there. But I'm very excited to check that out. I also do want to say something simple. For those of you that have watched Get Your Geek On from the start, know that I've ended every show segment we've ever done with my traditional stay away from Oprah. That is no longer the Gygo outro. I know, after 250 plus